Reigns took the mic. You done with your little distractions yet? Link shrugged. Depends on what the distractions are. You're just the final one that I get to face right here in Greece. Reigns laughed. Oh, so you think that you can just come into my ring, make a promo about facing your tribal chief, and get away with it? By the way, that promo was 2 years ago, but you had to deal with the Brotherhood, completely forgetting our match. That's all right. I'm not mad. But if you say you're going to do it, then you better. Link nodded. Roman, I can admit that I had my plate full. I also had to deal with things outside the ring as well, and that meant that I wasn't able to... Roman interrupted him. I don't care what you did inside or outside the ring, but I do have to ask, as your tribal chief, do you really want this? He paused, then continued. You and I have never had any issues up until a couple years ago. Before that, my name never came out of your mouth. A younger Rev, Solo Sikoa, and a couple of other people joined Roman. Link said, From what I have observed, you're working with the Brotherhood, right? Reigns shook his head. What does the bloodline have to do with the Brotherhood? He's only here because he already knows who the GOAT is. And you know what happens to people who get in our way. The rest of the group nodded. So, about that tribal combat that you so badly wanted, Reigns began, I accept. But before we start, why do you want to do this? We don't have to do this. I would give you a spot next to me at the head of the table. Link shook his head. Thanks for the offer, but I'm not interested. Reigns went on. At the end of the day, only one will survive tribal combat. And you know who it's going to be. You got that?
I'm the tribal chief around here. Yeah, you see me. The tribal chief. That's right.
Unmiked, Paul Heyman said, That's right. I acknowledge you, my tribal chief. Heyman took the mic. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is... Paul Heyman, the crowd responded. As special counsel and wise man to your tribal chief and undisputed Universal WWE Champion, Roman Reigns' Elite Tribal Combat begin. The Tron showed highlights from the match. Reigns whipping Link with a strap, Link putting Reigns through a table, Reigns throwing chairs at Link slamming Reigns onto the pile of chairs, Link taking 5 spears, trading chops back and forth, and fighting outside of the ring. The final scene was of Link locking Reigns' arm, putting him into a submission hold until Reigns tapped out, only to get back up, Samoa dropping him onto the steel steps. The crowd began to chant. Both men were on the ground, staring intensely at each other. Slowly, one of them began to make a move. It was Link, watching Reigns as he moved. Reigns didn't move. Link, climbing to the third rope, got ready for his ultimate finisher, borrowing The Undertaker's finisher, the Tombstone Piledriver, sending both men flying across the ring. Roman was the first to get up. The spear sent Link into the ropes, bouncing off and hitting the ground. Roman got ready, going in for another spear. Link was ready, countering with a clothesline. Link countered the spear of the tribal chief, one of the commentators said as Reigns went flying across the ring. Slowly, Link crawled toward Reigns, watching his every move. Reigns isn't moving. Could this be the end of the tribal chief? Ringside, Paul Heyman was yelling, "Get up, my tribal chief. He's right there." Link put Reigns into a Kimura lock, locking his shoulder and arm. He slowly put pressure to the back of his elbow, Reigns yelling. Link's got Reigns in a submission hold, the Kimura lock. If he tries to break it, he might break his arm, one of the commentators said. The crowd was cheering and chanting. With the other hand, Roman began to tap the mat. And your winner is the new WWE Undisputed Universal Champion, Link. The crowd waited as both men crawled towards each other, slowly helping each other up. The crowd cheered as they shook hands, while Paul Heyman stood ringside, crying. Taking the beads off his neck, Roman Reigns placed them on Link, declaring him the new champion and tribal chief, the Tron cutting to black. Back in the present, Aries stood with Link, Roman on one side of the ring. The Brotherhood, including the Bishop, stood on the other side. I quite enjoyed that, Aries said, looking from Link to Roman. However, Aries began. I was already in a foul mood, and you, Mr. Rev, he pointed accusingly, made it even worse. The Rev looked confused, unsure how to react. Oh, don't give me that. You're lucky that I'm on good terms with Hades because I had to go get his soul from him. You're joking, right? The Rev questioned. Aries looked like he was just asked the dumbest question in the history of questions ever asked. Oh, you think I'm a joke, do you? Well, you know what, buddy? I sure as hell ain't laughing at it. Let's talk about something, just the six of us. Link and Roman exited the ring, glaring at each other. So, Aries said, it's pretty obvious that you did a lot of stuff. I mean, look at your track records, at least for you, oh my great bishop. Aries pointed to the Rev. And the son takes after his father. Everyone knows how you got here, riding on the coattails of your father, killing a wrestler or two just so you can keep your position of power. Anger crossed Aries' face. That's where I draw the line. I like a good fight. I was intrigued by wrestling when it first started. The wrestlers of today are the modern gladiators of today. What are you getting at, or? The Rev asked. Shut up, I'm talking, Aries yelled. If you want to fight your fights, they stay here in the ring. You don't go and do what you did just because your ego couldn't handle losing to someone who, in my opinion, is a better superstar than you'll ever be. Oh! The crowd reacted. Having none of this, the Rev ran full speed at Aries, only to get a Samoan drop to the mat. The Rev bounced off the mat, rolling ringside. The Rev should have thought that idea through before he decided to anger the god of war, Ben said. Yeah, but he's got balls for doing that, Izya said. I'd be quaking if I were him. Remember, Ben said, the Rev is not your average person. He's a psychopath, and oh, Aries scoops the Rev up and out of the ring he goes. The crowd cheered as Aries snapped his fingers, summoning the motorcycle, riding out of the ring. That, Ben said, was a turn of events. You think he'll stick around? I hope so. I kinda like him. It's not every day a Greek god comes by. It'll be a first for the WWE Universe. Just then, Raven landed in the center of the ring, the crowd booing. She waited, then began talking. The crowd booed again, breaking into a chant. It's not me you should be mad at, I promise you that. The crowd booed some more. He's the one who threw him off the roof. Someone shouted, it's your fault. She gestured to the audience to be quiet, but they didn't stop. After a few minutes, the audience died down. I don't know if you knew this, but we still have some unfinished business to take care of. She pointed behind her, back towards the locker rooms backstage. Every one of you superstars that aren't a part of our cause is now enemy number one. I am offering each and every one of you to come up here and I will give you a choice. You can either join us or get hurt. Look at that, Ben said. She's got one thing to do, and that's to wreck everyone and leave. That's the same shirt Roman Reigns wore before he was tribal chief, Isaiah said. That shirt said it all. Just then, Claire Nation came out, a procession of beings following her. Look what the procession dragged in, Raven said. I would like to say that if I were to choose a side, I would choose the friend that I came to know. The crowd cheered. Whoever is under there now is a shell of who she used to be. Hell, I don't know who this is talking to me. You will know if you join us. You can have a bit of the power as we become the head of the WWE Universe, Raven said. I already have my own place to rule, thank you very much. Also, I happen to not be a fan of occults, but thanks for the invitation. Raven looked at Claire Nation as if she made up her mind. It is done. After tonight, you are all going to get hurt, friend or not. As she left the ring as someone's theme music played. It's the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar, Ben shouted as the crowd popped off. Why is he here? Isaiah asked. I don't know, but I heard that a couple of days ago, the Rev tweeted something that involved Lesnar, and he's here to address it. I hope the Rev has an army because the Beast looks angry, and you don't want him when he's angry. Lesnar stood in the middle of the ring, glaring at the crowd. He's beyond angry, Isaiah observed. He looks pissed. Lesnar took a mic. What do you want to do with your power, oh great Rev? Lesnar scanned the audience, then scanned ringside. I was gonna have a chat with your Raven friend, but I guess she was told to leave before she could properly shit herself. The crowd booed. That's okay. I know you're watching this wherever you are. The crowd cheered. Someone told me that I was mentioned by you a couple of days ago. I don't got a problem with that. What I do have a problem is when you want to add me to your body count of wrestlers that you can't face on your own. With that, he left the ring, heading backstage. Backstage, Paul Heyman was waiting for Lesnar. A few moments later, Lesnar entered. Paul Heyman, what are you doing here? Paul straightened his tie. Sorry for the unexpected visit, it won't be long. All right, Lesnar said, confused. The Rev is livid. He knows about your promo, and he is absolutely livid. I was about to leave when he blew up my phone. Okay, Lesnar said. What does that have to do with me? You heard Raven. Any threat that the Brotherhood finds to be an obstacle must be dealt with. I don't know how they're gonna do that, but in the past, well, he thought for a minute, you know what happened. To a good chunk of the roster. Lesnar looked irritated. If he wants to put me in a tag team match, why don't you pick one of the new guys? Heyman nodded. I've got one. However, you might want to tell him what really happened. He needs to know that it wasn't you. I don't care how he knows it. Even if you have to kick his ass to tell him it wasn't you, he has to know. Lesnar nodded as the cameras cut.